In the spirit of respect, authenticity, and reconciliation, the town of Slave Lake honors and acknowledges that we are situated on the traditional lands of Sawridge First Nation within Treaty 8 territory, home to Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit peoples who have occupied these lands since time immemorial. Councillor Achoba.
Motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Okay, motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that one is carried. Councillor Hughes.
I move to accept the committee of the whole meeting minutes from March 10th, 2026 as presented.
Okay, motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that one is also carried. Okay, we're going to move forward into our public hearing. And I believe I need to read this first. Okay, bear with me. I declare the public hearing open, and the hearing is held pursuant to sections 230, 606, and 692 of the Municipal Government Act 2000 as amended. The purpose of bylaw 03-2026 is to amend the intermunicipal development plan map of the intermunicipal development plan bylaw 24-2014 by redistricting as follows. Southwest, first 73-6 west of the 5th meridian, from light industrial to recreational parks and schools. Notice of the hearing was given in writing to the applicant, the assessed landowner or landowners, and adjoining landowners, and the planning and development officer. The hearing was advertised on the town's website from April 8th, 2026 to April 21st, 2026. Any presentations made are to be brief and to the point, and the order for the hearing will be the planning and development officer, those in favor of the bylaw, those opposed, and then any person deemed to be affected who wishes to be heard. Since it is a public hearing, all persons giving presentations are to state their name and address if they are members of the public. And with that, public hearing is now open.
Good evening, Your Worship and members of council. So the purpose of this report is to hold the required public hearing regarding bylaw 3/2026. So this is the name of the applicant is Big Fish Bay. They are also the landowner, and this is for 950 Caribou Trail. And this is to amend the intermunicipal plan from light industrial to recreation parks and schools. The municipal development plan, the subject lands are designated as regional commercial in the MDP, and as such, no amendment is required. As stated, the IDP is currently designated as light industrial, and we're looking to amend the IDP to the recreation parks and schools. The plan amendment was referred to the municipal district of Lesser Slave River, and to date, before when this was originally written, they hadn't gotten back, but they have presented it at their own council, and it should be going for their own bylaw at their next meeting. The plan amendment was referred to adjacent property owners, and to date, there has been no comments received by the department. The purpose of this bylaw is to ensure alignment between all applicable statutory planning documents and the current and proposed use of the subject lands. During administration's review of the file, it was identified that the regional growth plan will also require an amendment to fully align with the proposed development. This amendment must be considered by the Tri-Council prior to proceeding. Administration is currently coordinating with the Tri-Council for a meeting expected in late May 2026 to present the proposed amendment. Aside from the intermunicipal plan amendment and the forthcoming regional growth plan amendment, no additional changes to other statutory plans are required to facilitate this application. Historically, the subject lands consisted of vacant, undeveloped, and uncleared property, and over the past several years, the landowner has undertaken a deliberate and phased approach to planning and development of the parcel. This has included successfully amending the municipal development plan in 2022, followed by a land use bylaw amendment in 2024, both of which were approved to support and align with the landowner's long-term vision for the site. Big Fish Bay Resort has been actively working toward the expansion of its existing operations through the development of these lands as a recreation resort. The proposed uses are consistent with this designation and include a mix of camping, cabins, retail components, and both indoor and outdoor recreational facilities. These uses contribute to regional tourism, support local economic development, and enhance recreational opportunities within the municipality and the surrounding area. In early 2026, the landowner submitted an outline plan detailing the proposed road network and servicing strategy for the development. This plan underwent technical review and was approved by the municipality's engineering consultants as well as council. As part of that approval process, the outline plan was circulated to adjacent landowners and the municipal district of Lesser Slave River and Sawridge First Nation for review and comment. No concerns or objections were identified through this referral process, indicating compatibility with surrounding land uses and general support for the proposed development. Since then, the landowner has submitted development permit applications for a multi-purpose building and shortly thereafter for the development of cabin units on site. During the review of these applications, administration identified that despite previous amendments to the MDP, the Municipal Development Plan, and the Land Use Bylaw, the intermunicipal plan had not been updated accordingly. From a planning and governance perspective, maintaining consistency across statutory planning documents is essential to ensure a clear, transparent, and defensible policy framework. Alignment between the intermunicipal plan, municipal development plan, and the land use bylaw, and lastly, the regional growth plan supports coordinated decision-making, reduces the potential for conflicting policy direction, and provides clarity for both administration and the public as development progresses. As such, the proposed bylaw seeks to address this gap by amending the intermunicipal development plan to reflect the current land use designation and the previously approved direction for development. The amendment is administrative in nature as it does not introduce new land uses or alter the established development vision, but rather ensures that all of our statutory documents are consistent and accurately reflect the municipality and the landowner's shared intent for the site.
Okay, are there any questions from council for planning and development at this time? Okay, as I see none, thank you. Next. Is there anyone in favor of the bylaw who wishes to speak? Going once, going twice, and 3 times. Anyone opposed to the bylaw that wishes to speak? Again, once, twice, and 3 times. And any person deemed to be affected who wishes to be heard. And repetitively, once, twice, and 3 times. Okay, with that, I declare the public hearing closed. And we will move forth into our delegation. Casey, if you want to come up for the RCMP quarterly report. And did you want council to save their questions till the end if they have any, or just as we go along?
Sure.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait till the end. Perfect. Floor is yours.
Do I have to hit anything on the mic or we're good? We're good. Okay. So this is the quarter 3 report. So October, November, December, our fiscal year starts again in April. So this is quarter 3. So just an agenda, we'll go through our detachment goals and priority plan for the year, the status of them, stats from the OSB branch, some recent investigations that occurred here in the town of Slave Lake, some detachment specific equipment and staffing updates, and then any questions and answers. So the first tier of our annual priority plan was targeting property crime. This quarter to date, we're at 294 quadrant or hotspot area patrols, 292 industrial area patrols, and 136 proactive patrols in rural areas. I will note we didn't have a bait deployment this year at up to this point. We were unsuccessful for the last couple and we shifted focus to prolific offenders. So that's why that's 0. Second tier was enhancing public confidence and engagement. The first part was visibility and engagement in school zones. We have 175 patrols for that. Interactions with community groups, schools, sporting groups, 40. Media briefs and releases, 27. Those are investigation specific ones as well as the monthly ones that I've been doing. The last one's targeting prolific offenders. We've had 74 proactive interactions with prolific offenders, and we've executed 113 warrants in relation to them. I know these are always tough to see. The one that always jumps out is the property crime, down 6% the last quarter. So that is 9 straight here in the town of Slave Lake. Nothing else really substantive that jumps out at me from that one. The next one's got a bunch more, again, really hard to see. I think I emailed you a copy, but the only one that jumped out on me in here was missing persons files, kind of jumped up a little bit there. Those do take a lot of time and resources from us for investigative reasons. So Can't really pinpoint any factors, but went up 700% from 1 to 8 in that quarter. So just thought I'd note it, but they do take time to investigate those files. So 3 files I'll mention all happened in the 3 months I'm talking about, October, November, December, and all inside of the town of Slave Lake. The first one, members received a complaint of a break-in to 2 vehicles in the parking lot of the Northern Lakes College. Members attended and obtained video surveillance, and after viewing such, were able to identify a well-known prolific offender. Members applied for a warrant, and they finally located him several weeks after the incident. The suspect was arrested on the warrant. He had 13 prior criminal code convictions, had 7 outstanding criminal code charges, and had been part of 36 files to the RCMP here for service in the last 2 years. The suspect was brought before a justice of the peace who released him with conditions, and the matter is still before the courts. Trial set for May here next month in Slave Lake. The second one, members received a call that someone had threatened someone with a knife and robbed them of their money. The members attended, conducted an investigation, and identified a suspect who was known to members. With coordination between the Slave Lake General Duty and Crime Reduction Unit, the members located the suspect shortly after the offense and was arrested. The suspect was known to members with 16 prior criminal code charges and had been the subject of complaint on 10 files to the RCMP in the last 2 years. A bail hearing was held, and a justice of the peace decided to release the suspect with conditions, and that matter is still before the courts. That's trial set for April here in Slave Lake. The last one, the Slave Lake Crime Reduction Unit opened an investigation on a residence suspected of being involved in trafficking drugs. Members gathered evidence and wrote a search warrant for the residence, which was approved by a judge. The search warrant was executed and numerous persons were arrested inside the residence. Methamphetamine, heroin, weapons, ammunition, and drug paraphernalia were located and seized in the residence. The suspect was released by a justice of the peace, and the matter is still before the courts. The next appearance is set for next week here in Slave Lake. Some staffing updates for us. My job's filled by me. Our sergeant job is still filled by Sergeant Schilliker. 2 general duty corporals, Corporal Wakeland, and the other Corporal Dowers coming from Hinton. He should be here. He is purchasing a residence here in the town of Slave Lake, and he should be here May 27th was the date I heard. 11 general duty constables, 2 vacancies, and I will say we have 2 cadets arriving in June, first week of June. And our 2-person municipal crew unit is filled. Our 5 admin staff, sadly, we did lose our one of our town employees this past quarter. She was great, but we're in the process of hiring a new one. I believe we're doing interviews end of April, beginning of May. Some other notable items, just the monthly releases continue to be done and sent to Alex for distribution at the town there, and I appreciate you guys putting that up online for us. The body cams have been in place for a year now and have been working great. We've used a lot in court recently, and they've been extremely helpful, including traffic stops and criminal code charges as well. And I talked to Ted there last week, and he wanted me to mention that we've seen an increase in counterfeit currency lately, $100 bills. I sent out a media release that on that not too long ago, but still continues to be an issue. So just business owners perhaps keep on the lookout for that. That's it, short and sweet. I'll answer any questions you guys have here.
Wonderful. Any questions from council? Pretty quiet on all fronts so far. Appreciate the time to present to us. I think that's great. I mean, obviously we've seen the reports come back and, the multiple file convictions is, frustrating for the repeat offenders, but it does give us a bit of a peek into what the RCMP and the members of the detachment deal with on a daily basis. And so appreciate, being forthcoming with the details that you are able to share. And I do enjoy that we are down in property crime for the many straight quarters in a row. So that is good to hear. And yeah, Councillor Chope.
Thank you, Staff Surgeon. I just wanted to say a big thank you to your team, because we've continued to see increased presence. Just driving around town myself, I know I continue to see them just present, and it's really appreciated to see that. So just relay our thanks to the team.
Thank you, I will.
Counselor Hughes?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, just a big thanks to you guys. I really appreciate the level of communication. It's been wonderful just from you guys to residents and what we've been able to share with residents in Slave Lake. I think it's been really impactful. I did actually have a question for you about the counterfeit bills. If businesses are encountering them, what is the recommended protocol for them to follow? Do they give you guys a call and file a report, or what do you suggest?
Yeah, definitely call us right away. A lot of the businesses we've dealt with had surveillance, but they rewrite over themselves and some are as low as a day. So I would suggest calling right away as soon as you notice. Sometimes it's tough. You won't know. I've talked to, well, we've had files where some businesses don't know until they deposit the money at the
Yeah.
bank. In that case, I would suggest to still call us immediately because some surveillance goes back 30 days or 45 days,
Mhm.
but it's really hard to pinpoint unless you only took $100 from one person,
Right,
who that person was.
yeah.
So I would just suggest maybe take a note of anyone taking that or just don't take $100 bills.
Well, I guess I would add too, you can't help but feel that even if you do catch them on camera, nothing's going to happen.
Well, if we did, it is an offense to pass counterfeit currency. You could potentially be charged with that and, you know, have to go to court, that kind of thing. But yeah, the simple, quick answer is maybe for the next little bit, don't take $100 bills, just smaller bills or just use card. Most people use card nowadays anyway, but
Okay, and there have been like several incidents of this in the town or just a small amount?
and please don't quote me on the exact number. I believe I was told 7. So
7 different incidents.
yes, that we had. So
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and with that, I would entertain a motion to accept. Counselor Chopa,
I'd like to move to accept the RCMP quarterly report as information.
motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that one is carried. Thanks, Casey.
thank you all. Take care.
I believe our business arising from delegations will come up in the next report. So Joanna, floor is yours.
As the report is the same, I'm just gonna read out my recommendation to council, if that's okay with council.
That would be appreciated.
So, communication strategy stated before notice of the public hearing for bylaw 3 2026 was advertised on the town's website and social media platforms for a period of 2 weeks. In addition, letters of notice for the public hearing were sent to adjacent property owners and stakeholders. The proposed amendment is administrative in nature and serves to ensure consistency among all statutory planning documents. Following previous amendments to the municipal development plan and land use bylaw, the bylaw does not introduce new or incompatible land uses, but rather aligns the intermunicipal plan with the existing and intended development of the site. Given the prior approvals, lack of objections from adjacent landowners and referral agencies, and the demonstrated progression of the development in a planned and coordinated manner, administration is satisfied that the proposed amendment is appropriate and in the best interest of orderly and sustainable development within the municipality. At this time, the planning department has no concerns with the application and recommends council give bylaw 3 2026 second reading. I just want to add a certain thing there. If we could hold off on third reading until the MD has given their first reading. So I would bring this back in May for third reading.
Okay, do we need to have a motion administration to table the third reading to
You
come
can
back?
just give just second reading and then just not proceed with third reading.
Okay,
And we'll bring it back at a later date for third reading.
okay. Yeah, I was just curious if we needed to have a motion on that, or we can just stop at the second motion.
You can just stop at second because bylaws can be brought back at different points, for
Perfect.
different readings.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Counselor Bows?
No questions. I was just going to do the second reading.
Yep, please go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to move that bylaw number 03-2026 to amend the intermunicipal plan map, figure 4.5 of the intermunicipal plan bylaw number 24-2014 by redistricting southwest 1 of 73-6 west of the 5th from light industrial to recreational parks and schools, receive second reading.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Call to question those in favor. And that is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kush. 2 reports.
Mayor, you
Yes.
did miss the business arising. Did you want to cover that quickly?
with the business arising just,
From the delegation, I don't think there was any, but if you.
no, I just mentioned that it would cover it in the next report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I need a motion on that if there was nothing.
The delegation was there. Cindy.
Oh, I don't think there was any
I
business.
believe so.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
we'll pause moment because apparently I can't read an agenda in order. Was there any business from the RCMP delegation? No, we're good. Perfect. Now we'll flip back.
Good evening, your worship members of council. The purpose of this report is to provide recommendation to council for awarding the 2026 concrete repair replacement program. A capital budget of 150,000 is proposed for allocation this year to improve the sidewalk infrastructure within town limits. The overall intent of the program is to improve conditions of existing concrete sidewalk and curbs within town limits, minimizing tripping hazards and providing safer surface for pedestrians to walk on. Sections are selected based on tripping hazard priorities, mobility, and impact to surface drainage along the curbs to minimize detrimental effect to adjacent infrastructure. Town administration recently concluded the request for proposal task seeking proposals from interested proponents. RFP requested unit rate proposal based on estimated quantities of proposed work. Upon closing, 3 proposals were received with the following amount before GST. Duro Contracting Limited submitted a proposal for $127,500. Pavit Construction submitted a proposal of $147,625, and Rural Concrete submitted proposal for $150,925. All the submitted proposals were actually 2 proposals were deemed compliant and 1 was incompliant. Pavit Construction Duros was submitted all the mandatory requirement and they were deemed compliant, while Rural Concrete forgot to submit 1 mandatory requested document and they were marked as incompliant submission. Evaluation of the proposal was done according to the scoring chart shown in the report. Pricing was weighted at 50%. Past experience on similar project was weighted on 40% and schedule was weighted on 10%. Upon evaluation, Duro Contracted Limited scored the maximum points and is recommended for award. Proposal evaluation sheet can be found in attachment 1. The firm is out of St. Albert but who has worked with town before, and they have successfully completed concrete repair replacement program for year 2023, 2024, and 2025, including phase 2 and 3 of downtown revitalization and some other concrete scope on our road rehab projects. Council may choose from one of the following options, either to proceed with the proposed work by awarding the contract to the recommended proponent or do not proceed with the proposed work. The capital funds required to complete the proposed work is requested to be allocated in 2026 capital budget, which is currently in the final stages of approval. All the proposed work will be carried out as per town standards. Communication will be released to inform residents before any work commences. A contractor will be responsible for communication to affected residents before completing any proposed work. Administration recommends council to award the 2026 concrete replacement program to Duro Contracting.
Okay, I'll open up the floor to council for any questions or motions. Councillor Choba.
No question. Just gonna go ahead and make the motion. I move that council awards the 2026 concrete repair / replacement program to Duro Contracting Limited.
Motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All right, I'll call to question those in favor. And that one is carried.
Yeah.
And your second report.
Moving on. Next report is to provide recommendation to council for awarding the 2026 asphalt patching program. Every year, operational budget of 100,000 is allotted to complete the asphalt patching within town limits. The overall intent of the program is to patch the asphalt roads within town limits to improve rideability experience for the users and extend the overall useful lifespan of the road infrastructure. Sections are selected based on the areas of traffic priorities and impact to surface drainage to minimize detrimental effects to the road base. We concluded the request for proposal task, and upon closing, we received 3 proposals. Rural Concrete submitted a proposal for $104,500 before GST. Pavit Construction submitted a proposal for $106,850 before GST, and E-Construction submitted a proposal for $179,150 before GST. Evaluations were scored again based on price at 50%, past experience on similar projects at 40%, and schedule at 10%. Pivot Construction and E-Construction submitted all the requested mandatory documents and their submission was deemed compliant. However, Rural Concrete did not submit mandatory requested copy of tentative project schedule, making their submission incompliant. Upon evaluation, Pivot Construction scored the maximum points and is recommended for award. Evaluation sheet can be found in the attachment. Pivot is a local firm and has previously worked with town. They have successfully completed asphalt patching program for the year 2020, 2022, 24, and 25, and including some overlay work and parking lot payment at Hill Diamond Park. Options in front of council is to proceed with the proposed work by awarding the contract to the recommended proponent or do not proceed with the proposed work. The operating funds required to complete the proposed work is requested to be allocated in 2026 operating budget, which is currently at the final stages of approval by council. Communications will be released to inform residents before any work commences. And we are recommending council to award the patching program for 2026 to Pivot Construction.
Thank you, Kush. Counselor Choba.
I'd like to move that council awards the 2026 asphalt patching program to Pivot Construction Corporation.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Called questions in favor. And that one is carried. Thank you. Appreciate the detailed reports.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Eliminated all the questions on that one. Speaking of questions, question period. Council, is there anything for administration at this time? Going once. Going twice. Okay, I see nothing. We won't even, this is good. We're gonna move along. I'm gonna move along into State of the Lake, and I do have something first, and then I'll pass that around to council. So before we wrap up tonight, we would be remiss not to acknowledge something very important, and that it is our CAO, Alex's birthday, and he is spending his birthday with his favorite bosses, which is all of us here at this table. Yes. We won't sing, but when Alex, when he stepped into this role, it was supposed to be temporary at the beginning. And I'm not entirely convinced that he knew what he was signing up for at the time. But in true firefighter fashion, he ran toward it anyway, bravely and perhaps just a little bit blindly. But that's exactly what makes him who he is. So he stepped up when our council needed him. He brought leadership, steadiness, and a willingness to take on the role that is complex on a good day, and did so without hesitation. Definitely with jokes, but without hesitation. So our organization has seen the benefit of that. We've seen the benefit of that, and council certainly appreciates it. So Alex, on behalf of all of us, happy birthday. Thank you for stepping in, stepping up, and for everything you do for our community. And we're very glad that you did. Yay. See, we didn't sing. This is good. With that, is there anything further from council for State of the Lake? Okay. Councillor Choba.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Call the question, those in favor. And that is carried.